Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And we have to ask, is there no depth of depravity to which Keir Starmer will not sink? Having gone after the pensioners, having withdrawn heating from them in the hope that they perish from hypothermia, he is now going to go after the widows and orphans. He is really targeting those most vulnerable. He really is got it in for people in need, hasn't he? Meanwhile, millionaires are free to leave the country and take their money with them. But by God, how dare you be a widow, for example? How dare you live alone? Yesterday, he was asked about the single person allowance for council tax. This gives people a reduction because they live alone. And he refused to say whether that would be scrapped. He was also asked about pensioner council tax reduction as well. And he refused to confirm nor deny that he was considering that. Now, when a politician refuses to deny that they're going to do it, it means absolutely they're going to do it. After all, never believe anything officially until it's been officially denied. And three times he was asked, will he cut this single person's allowance? And he refused to say, which means yes, he's going to cut the single person's allowance. This affects widows, for example. Not all, sometimes it's just people living alone. But imagine you're married, and then your husband or wife dies, and you're left alone, and now, instead of getting a little bit of comfort and aid through a reduced council tax, you're punished. You're punished because your partner died. This guy, he's just got no soul. He's got no humanity. And again, he was asked about the pensioners' relief. And again, he refused to comment because he's obviously got his eyes on it. We must punish people at the bottom. We must punish those that we loathe. We loathe the poor. We loathe the old. We absolutely despise people in need. And so rather than helping them, we'll punish them. We'll make their lives worse. This seems to be the creed of the socialists. If anyone anywhere is having some tiny bit of joy, it must be extinguished. If someone somewhere has 2 farthings to rub together, we must take at least one of those farthings from them, lest they spend it and cheer themselves up. These people, it's like a Victorian novella, isn't it? It's some Victorian melodrama. He'll be tying virgins to train tracks next and twiddling his long moustache while wearing a top hat. This is where we're going with this guy. There is no one safe. There is no act of despicable meanness to which he will not reach in with his cold hands and crush the life out of. What have single people ever done to Keir Starmer? Why should he just go after these people? What is actually wrong with him? Because there is something inside him that is broken. He's not a human being. We see this when he looks and talks and walks and acts. He doesn't respond like a normal human being. He's an automaton. He's a robot. He's controlled, probably by Putin. He spent a lot of time in his youth in Soviet Russia. He's a complete dedicated Marxist, you know. But he's got no humanity. You saw, and I keep referring to it, but it was a prime example of when he was in Southport and he just marched up there. Lay wreath, must stand up, must look sad. That's enough sad, must get to car. Nothing, didn't have to interact with the people. He didn't even go and talk to the relatives of the people. These 3 children murdered in the street. He didn't even go and talk to the families. He just turned up, laid a wreath as though that means F all. And then, oh, I've looked suitably sad for suitably long enough. I must leave. because there are real people. And then marches away and gets out of Dodge as fast as his four-wheel drive can take him. It's no wonder he's despised and loathed, and not just by the people of this country. He's despised and loathed by a lot of people within the Labour movement. There's people in his cabinet who cannot stand him. This is a man, I think, destined for a very short stint as Prime Minister. How can he now, after going after the pensioners, go after the pensioners again with the council tax, and then go after the widows and orphans over the single person allowance? What is absolutely going through his mind that he thinks this is going to work? Now, there's going to be backbenchers sitting there, heads in hands, going, "Oh, F me. I'm done. I'm finished." You know, they know their job's gone in 4.5 years. They're done. They ain't coming back. The one thing you can say about Keir Starmer that is positive is at least he is utterly destroying the Labour Party forever. Because only a complete retard now would vote for a party so destructive, so heartless, and so inhumane. Now, yes, there are, of course, people out there like that. But thankfully, I think the people of this country aren't particularly like that generally. Sure, they have different views, they have different political opinions, but most of them, deep down, are actually human. Perhaps we can distill some essence of whatever it is to be human, put it in a jar and inject it straight up Keir Starmer's arse and make him human. Have you ever seen him laugh? I mean, not the fake laugh of politics of that he does. I mean, genuinely, smile, laugh. Have you ever seen light behind the eyes? I think he's got 2 glass eyes. Little TV cameras in there. There's a man sitting in an office somewhere, Pavlovskaya, Nizhny Novgorod, in an office sitting there, controlling, the Starmer bot. Walk forward, shake hand, pretend to look interested, kill babies, slaughter the elderly. Put 10,000 people in a gulag because of their political opinions. That's what he's doing. Let's face it. He's already going to be killing the elderly, allegedly. He's putting people away in prison for having views that go against his, and possibly in the gulags in Estonia. Nice and cold, isn't it? Yes. Where did he learn that trick? His mate, Uncle Joe Stalin. And now he's coming after the widows and orphans. It'll be, cutting. Surprised he isn't out there. He's like bloody Herod. That'll be the next thing. Herod. He'll be riding roughshod, killing the firstborn of every family. That's his next one, isn't it? Herod Starmer. Anyway, I've gone on too much about this wanker. Thanks very much. Take care. Goodbye.